See, I grew up in a household run by educators, teachers. My mom just retired as a middle school principal, and my dad is still a high school counselor in one of Dallas's inner cities. As much as it pains me to say this to you guys, y'all grew up in a different era than I grew up in. You guys grew up in the timeout era. See, when you guys were in school and you got in trouble, y'all got put in timeout, literally. You know, Chandler, if you don't pipe down, I'm gonna put you in timeout. Tristan, inside voice. I'm gonna put you in timeout if you don't act up. It was totally different when I grew up. When we grew up, when you acted up in school, they sent you directly to the principal's office. And we all knew what was going down in there because we all had seen the paddle hanging in his office. Nowadays, you can't spank your kids in your house or in the school. It's against the law, but oh, nobody, not when I grew up. And see, as you said, as you heard me say, my mom was a middle school principal. She had a paddle in her office with an engraving on both sides. On one side it said peace, on the other side it said maker, peacemaker. That paddle was legendary at my mom's school, so much so that I don't think she ever had to use it on any of her students. But what's the scariest thing for me is my mom wasn't even the disciplinarian in my household. It was my dad. And this is how our timeouts went. When we get in trouble, he'd go into his closet, get his favorite leather belt. I never saw him wear that belt with any clothes. We get in trouble, he'd grab that leather belt, and then he'd spank us until he got tired. And then he'd take a timeout. Now, the reason why we're here is to talk about choices and how your choices impact you as a student athlete here at DePaul. When you get down to the fundamentals of daily life, your choices are at the root of what's good and potentially bad in your life. Fundamentals. We all know them. We all been doing them since first grade when we learned how to count, spell, in my case, dribble a rock. And we all should have realized that from every level, from elementary to high school to college, the people with the best fundamentals, with the best foundations are the ones that excel in life. And we all should have realized that the same fundamentals that you guys practice now are the fundamentals, are the foundation of your game. The foundation of what makes you guys exceptional athletes. And the choices that you make are the foundation of what makes you exceptional people. And one of the things that I want you to realize is every day you're going to have choices. And those choices are going to positively or negatively impact you. Now, one of the things I want you to realize is when you go out through your daily life with these choices, that there's what's the major thing that gets more airplay on the media, in the news? The negative, the negativity. You have TV shows dedicated for the bad decisions that celebrities make. Like TMZ, I know you guys watch them. One bad mistake that wasn't thought out can erase a lifetime of positivity. You know, when I'm introduced every time I do a game for ESPN, the announcement is Stephen Howard, former DePaul University academic All-American. My history as a Blue Demon is synonymous with Stephen Howard in that they're one and the same. To this day, I have more people that recognize me as a former Blue Demon than from anything else that I've done in my life. The NBA, anything. All the stuff I'm talking about today is about my brand, which ultimately is how I find myself here, talking to you guys. How I found myself in Chicago Stadium in 1996, playing against Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls in the NBA Finals. And how I found myself now on ESPN, on TV, being watched by millions because of my choices. I was thinking on the flight up here that it wasn't until maybe a couple of years ago that I really reflected on the accomplishment of being a student athlete and getting a Division I scholarship and then doing it to a top-tier university like DePaul. That's nice. A lot went into me being here at DePaul University and you guys being here as well. In my case, if when I was being recruited by DePaul, if there was another basketball player that the coaching staff felt was better than me, and they gave him my scholarship and took away mine, I would have had to have done what countless other young men and women have had to do throughout the ages when they finally hit them that they would not be able to go to DePaul University because they just weren't good enough. I would have gone to Plan B and attended Notre Dame. I use basketball as a means to an end, a means to get an education, and then after that a means to support myself in life. A lot of times you hear about athletes that feel used by their sports, by their universities, and I feel bad for them, I really do. You guys have at your disposal, at your fingertips, so many resources to make you successful in life. You got your trainers, training tables, computer lab, tutors, not to mention all the networking opportunities that you have with alumni and fans of the game. If I were you, I would take every opportunity given to you by the athletic department to be mentored or meet with any alumni or fans. These are the people that own corporations. These are the people that will be giving you jobs when you graduate. Everything we've talked about today revolves around leadership, choices. The choices that you make will determine whether or not you're a good leader or a bad. And we all know that there's no great teams without great leadership. Who among you will be able to make those tough decisions for your teammate, our fellow athlete, off the court? Who among you will be able to make that tough play on the court? Who among you will be accountable? I'll be honest with you, the choices you got to make as leaders won't always be popular. When I was growing up in school, it wasn't cool to be good in class, to be good in school. But then I look back on the opportunities that gave me in the NBA and ESPN now. So who's cool now? See, a lot of the people that were laughing at me when I was going to study hall or going to class, half those people are at home living with their mamas now. And not that I have anything against mamas, because Lord knows I love mine. But come on, man. You see, it wasn't always easy studying when everybody else was out there partying. It wasn't always easy going to class when it was 10 below and there's snow up to my knees. It wasn't always easy waking up at 6 in the morning to hit the track so I could make a team. See, that was half the battle, half the reward. Because if it was easy, I wouldn't be the only private school player from Dallas to play in the NBA. And if it was easy, I wouldn't be the only academic All-American to play for DePaul University's men team. But I'm by no means perfect. I've made mistakes, but the key is how I responded to those mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. The key is that you don't make the same mistakes repeatedly. When you get down to it, every day you have thousands of opportunities to make choices. Choices that will ultimately affect the rest of your life. Do I skip class? Do I go to class? Do I get high? Do I steal those shades from the store? Do I have unprotected sex? Do I get behind the wheel while intoxicated? While growing up, I had the same issues and pressures that you guys had. I had my boys who wanted me to skip class, go get high. But each time that would happen, I would ask myself, is this going to bring me closer or farther away from my goals? Is getting high going to bring me closer or farther away to playing in the NBA? Is stealing those shades going to bring me closer or farther away to graduating college? Is getting behind the wheel drunk going to bring me closer or farther away from being an ESPN broadcaster? Each of you will or have already faced these same issues. How will you respond? How will you react? The great news I have for you guys today is that tomorrow is done. Last year's mistakes is history. Your future is a blank slate that will be determined by what you write on. Everybody in this room is good. Everybody was stars in high school. But the difference between high school and college is big. The question that I have is, who among you is going to go from good to great? Who among you is going to raise the bar? Who among you is going to go to that next level? See, what made you great in high school just makes you part of the norm in college. And I'm not just talking about athletically, I'm talking about as a person. From every level, from high school to college to professional, you have to raise that level, raise the bar. When you look at the top players in every league, whether it's Kobe Bryant, Tiger Woods, Peyton Manning, each of them is the best in the world at what they do because they believe they are the best in the world at what they do. See, I embraced hard work. I love to work hard. Whatever it was, whatever it is, to stay after practice, to work on my game, or stay up late in my dorm room to study. I would do whatever I had to do to attain my goal. I would go that extra mile. Will you guys go that extra mile? If you want a key to success and in life, specialize. Be known for something special. Specialists are valuable. Look at Albert Pujols, Major League Baseball hitting home run phenom. Or doctors that are specialists. Whenever you see a doctor that's a specialist, you got to pay more. Even among doctors, they're unique. If you want to be the best in the world at what you do, find yourself a niche and dominated. I dominate my niche. You need a private school player from Dallas to play in the NBA? That's me. You need an academic All-American from the men's team at DePaul? That's me. I am an expert in my field, and I have more failures than I can remember. But the difference between myself and the majority of people out there is that I use my failures to fuel my success. Yeah, I had a 15-year professional basketball career, but it was a 15-year career of one-year contracts. Every year was a contract year. Every year, no, every day, I had to fight off the challenges. So I don't let people tell me that I lived a charmed life. That moment I had in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia is a moment that I can guarantee everyone in this gym will one day have. For some of you freshmen, that might happen next year. It might happen 4 years from now. For you seniors, it might happen at the end of this year. But I can guarantee you everybody will have that. And when you do, you're going to ask yourself a question: what and who am I?